Hey, this is Totu Bravo, and we're doing a post 242 round range visit on our SIG P365. And as you can see here, we have totally disassembled our SIG P365, and we're going to look at each individual piece to see if anything jumps out at us that looks troublesome. So the first thing that we'll look at, we'll pick up the frame and take a good look at the frame, see if there's anything in here that represents abnormal wear, cracking, fracturing, anything that looks overly stressed. I don't see anything there. You guys see something that pops out at you? Everything in there looks perfectly fine. Now we'll look at the trigger group here, which comes out as a whole piece, a whole mechanism. If you're familiar with the SIGs, you'll be familiar with this. Nothing jumps out here. You have your rails on either side. Nothing there shows any wear that doesn't look like what you would expect after 200 and some rounds. Everything looks fantastic. Do a close-up there. Rotate that around slowly. Now I will note, let me grab my pointer here, some folks that are reporting the scratching on the back of the magazines here. You may have, if you've watched my previous video, you know I showed you the magazines and showed you that I didn't have any gouging in the back of my magazines. I believe the culprit for that is this spring right here. This spring mechanism right here comes up, comes around, seats right here, and then the tail of it, I believe what some folks were saying, sticks out right past here. And so when your magazines come up, I'm thinking, I don't know, maybe I'm wrong. I think that's the only place where you could get that drag. I don't think there's any place else we would get that drag. So I'm thinking that it's this spring right here, this spring end, but mine is flush with that piece there, so that's not an issue. So no wear there jumps out at me. The next thing we'll look at is our firing pin. Now on this particular generation of upgrades to the SIG P365, I did have a gentleman comment and give me a little bit of grief for using generations, but in my humble opinion, anytime there's a design change or a manufacturing change to a pistol that is different from the initial release, in my mind that is a change in the pistol's upgrade, or the change in the pistol's makeup during the manufacturing process, which represents a generational change to me. And I know one of those changes was on this particular one, which I'm going to call the Generation 3 change, is how the firing pin is more shouldered or tapered right here. Is one of the other things that has been changed since the initial release, and a subsequent change following that one. So this is the third change to the firing pin that I'm aware of. There's no gouging or anything jumping out at me here on the firing pin. It seems to be fine. Doesn't look like there's any fractures or cracking or anything misshapen on the metal. It looks as it should. So nothing there. Of course, I haven't cleaned the gun since we've shot it, so I'll wipe some of the grease off so we can see where the wear is on the barrel. So as we look at our barrel here, nothing really jumps out at me. A little wear right here and a little wear right here, and you would expect that in both of those areas. So nothing out of the norm there. The barrel looks good. Slide, as we look at the exterior of the slide, again it is dirty from the range visit. Nothing here, no dings, marks, gouges, nothing here, and nothing on this side, nothing at the rear, and nothing but dirt, grease, and filth at the front there. Inside the slide, again, nothing is jumping out. You know, you have your standard wear that you would expect here on the ramp. And inside on the rails, I see absolutely nothing that jumps out at me. So it all looks pretty dang good. Granted, that's only 242 rounds, but when you're a self-funded channel, 242 rounds, you know, that represents all hard-earned money. So we'll get there eventually with a higher round count, but steady as we go. Nothing wrong there, nothing jumps out at me. The safety plunger here and tiny little spring. Again, nothing there. So overall, 242 rounds later, besides being 30, nothing jumps out at me as far as excessive wear, fracturing, cracking, denting, gouging. Nothing gouged on the magazine there. It looks pretty good. So we'll continue to do these type of videos on the SIG P365, being that it's such a hot topic. Folks experiencing failures and malfunctions with their SIG P365s. We'll continue to do this as our round count climbs. So this is Totu Bravo. I appreciate you watching the video. Hopefully you enjoyed it. And until I see you out at the range again, thanks for watching.